May I help you?
Excuse my intrusion. Abigail Bellemore told me to find you. She said you may be able to help me find her brothers.
Murphy McCallan, come in, come in. Sit yourself down and let me introduce myself. I am Madame Planchette, psychic medium, soothsayer of the supernatural, forecaster of fortunes. And you're the one who caused all these troubles. Am I right?
Things kinda got away from me.
And now, we need to get them under control. Now, how precisely can I help you?
The man in the portrait was standing on a stage holding a cup and saucer. The man in the portrait was standing in front of a globe. The man in the portrait was seated at a desk with papers in his hand. I need to talk to Abigail's 3 brothers. Can we cast a summoning spell again to speak to their ghosts?
I'm afraid not, Murphy. The ghosts of Bellemore Manor could only be summoned because our spirits were trapped here and hadn't moved on to the spirit realm. The Bellemore brothers were murdered months before the wedding. Each has long since moved on, however reluctantly. It's very rare for someone to come back from the other side. It can happen, but I don't think there is much chance of that here.
How can we make contact with the 3 brothers?
We need to conduct a séance for each of the brothers, a way to contact them in the spirit realm and learn how and where they were killed. But each spirit is attuned differently. I will need you to gather some objects in order to contact them.
What do we need to contact Yardley Bellemore?
Yardley was a man of leisure, accustomed to the finer things in life. As his portrait shows, we must read tea leaves to contact him. You must bring me a used teacup.
What do we need to contact Xavier Bellemore?
Xavier was a man of the world, a traveler across the globe. As in his portrait, it is a globe that we will need to contact him, but one made of glass, a crystal ball.
Okay. Use teacup, crystal ball.
What do we need to contact Cecil Bellemore?
Cecil was a man of letters, skilled with the written word. Like the papers you see in his portrait, to contact him, you must bring me a spirit board, a sheet of letters through which Cecil may communicate.
Alright.
How can I find those séance items when I can't even leave the house? I don't even know what's trapping me here.
That would be Abigail.
Abigail is keeping me trapped in the house?
She was. A last desperate act to keep you here and free her from Rackham's curse. Return to the front doors, Murphy, and they will now open for you. Scour the island, search the manor, and bring those 3 items back to me, and we can begin to locate the 3 brothers.
I'll start looking right away.
Good luck. And hurry. Rackham will soon know what you're trying to do. And unlike the other ghosts here, his powers are no longer confined to the house. Just one more thing before you go. I have something that may help you.
What's that? Some kind of necklace?
A necklace? What can I do with this?
Return it to whom it belongs. Now go. You do not have much time, and yet the mysteries of our entire island await.
It was time to test what Madame Planchette had told me, and see if I really could leave the house.
Okay,
So it was
cool.
true. Right now I was living my very own ghost story, with a household of people who needed my help and a villainous phantom who had to be stopped. With Bellemore Manor unlocked, the entirety of the house and island were now mine to explore. Somewhere out there were the Bellemore brothers' 3 keys. My first task, to gather a crystal ball, a spirit board, and some tea leaves.
Ah, it has to be half of the compass. Oh, the parasol.
The parasol had landed decidedly out of reach. parasol had... That wasn't going to work. The parasol had... It was Tallulah LaRue's parasol, blown onto the carriage house after I dropped it on the roof.
Okay, good to know that's there. I don't think I can get that right now. Oh! Look who's reading tea.
Oh, it's you again.
Mallory, what are you doing here on the Bellemore estate? I thought all the locals were too scared to wander around here.
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm having a tea party for my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
How cute. And what are you talking about with your new doll?
Our strategy for conquering mortal civilization.
Right.
It's rude not to introduce yourself, you know.
Mallory, have you been practicing ventriloquism?
Are you calling me a dummy?
You can talk?
I'm a head. Talking is one of the few things I can specialize in.
I didn't know that.
You didn't ask. My name, now that you're listening, is Sir Edward Teddington, or as Miss Wisp here calls me.
Shrunken Ted.
You're not doing very much tea drinking at your tea party.
I couldn't get a handle on the physiology of it. No arms, hands, or esophagus makes this a little trickier than it used to be.
And I am drinking it. Watch.
Not a fan?
Maybe it's an acquired taste.
But an important one to acquire. Tea was the fuel of the British Empire.
Then maybe it would be better in a gas tank.
Mallory was handling the teacup with the tentativeness of a toddler being given castor oil. May I have a cup of tea?
Nope.
Now, Mallory, what were we saying about manners?
Oh, yes, right. How do I put this delicately? I'm afraid this is a private engagement exclusively for the Sisterhood of Darkness.
Precisely. Remember, we may be planning on enveloping the world with a new totalitarian empire led by yourself as queen, but that's no reason to be impolite. Manners cost nothing. However, in this case, it is a private engagement.
Could I have your teacup if you're not drinking it?
I am drinking it! Well, I would if it didn't taste so bitter.
Mallory, you shouldn't be inside the Bellemore estate. Don't you know about the disappeared wedding?
You're asking a little girl about murder, black magic, and broken hearts?
Sorry, I don't want to give you nightmares.
Are you kidding me? I love this stuff! I wrote a paper on it last semester that prompted a parent-teacher intervention.
Haven't you seen the Phantom?
The grumpy guy in the tall hat? Yeah, I've seen him through the windows of the house.
Doesn't he give you nightmares?
Sure does, but those are the kind of dreams I like.
Do you know Sebastian Bach?
Unfortunately.
Why didn't you tell me?
I did.
Okay, yes, you did, but didn't you think it was worth mentioning he was a ghost?
I didn't think you'd be interested. Most grown-ups just don't believe me.
So you can see ghosts?
Ugh, I wish I couldn't. Most of them don't shut up. Wailing through the windows all the time. Sebastian's the worst, the booger-brained bighead. Thinks he knows everything.
But the ghosts weren't visible until I cast the summoning spell.
To you, maybe. I mean, they're a lot more visible now. They were just shadowy, glowy things before.
The fact that I conducted an occult spell seemed to be lost on her. Knowing what I did about her, she probably did the same every day before breakfast.
Probably,
It was
yeah.
Sebastian that made you get the tin boat. He altered the toy catalog.
I knew it! Well, that's it. He's going to the top of the hit list once I'm queen of the universe. If you see him, tell him Pock's in for a shock.
So, Ted, that whole time I was carrying you around in my pocket...
Picking me up and stuffing me inside your vest without even a good evening? That's the living for you nowadays. Rude.
I'm very sorry. I've just never encountered a shrunken head that could talk to me before.
Maybe you have. And you just never introduced yourself.
I suppose, but I can't go around introducing myself to every inanimate object that I'm carrying on the off chance that they're supernaturally possessed, can I?
Did you just call me an object? That's objectification right there.
How did you end up as a shrunken head, Ted?
Can you believe this, Mallory? Asking about physical impairments just as brazenly as you like.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was a sore subject.
Well, I'll tell you anyway. Me and the old boys were embarking on a race through the Caribbean, known as the Coconut Rally. 14 days, 14 islands, with only what you can carry on your back to sustain you. It was all going so well, until day 9, when I was told to seek out a tribe of pygmies. Perhaps I got a bit lost, because the village I found was populated by villagers of average height.
Didn't that clue you in that you were in the wrong place?
I thought maybe they were just exceptionally tall pygmies. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, you know. They were a very welcoming people, filling me up on pork and bananas, a nice hot bath in a pot they hung over the fire. But it turns out they held a different philosophy when it comes to head placement and proportion. Still, no use grumbling. That's not the British way. Stiff upper lip. That's what we need.
Ted, how did you end up on Devil's Rock?
I was brought back here on a merchant ship by a strange man in a top hat who settled on me as a souvenir. Can you believe it? The indignity of being swapped and saying I was only worth 2 chickens.
I'd say at least 3.
Exactly.
And now you're helping a little girl take over the world, Ted?
Look, I was a little late getting in on the British Empire, and now its height has passed me by. I don't want to miss out again. This is my opportunity to get my foot on the ladder of a new attempt.
More like your chin on the ladder.
Very funny. You know, I have other interests too. You really need to get to know me as a person. I'm very well-rounded.
Of course you're round. You're just ahead.
The jokes just keep coming, don't they?
Well, I'll leave you two to your plans.
Long live the sisterhood!
The teapot was empty.
Hey, leave that alone. I'm drinking it.
I thought you didn't like it.
Maybe it's an
Okay. So she wants her tea sweetened.
The molasses was far too thick and gooey to get into the bottle. It was strange.
Yeah. Before I leave the... What the
A
hell is
decorative
this?
chalkboard stood by the door.
That's new.
The chalkboard was blank, presumably waiting a decorative welcome for the infernal marriage of an evil phantom to his cursed bride.
Okay. Okay, so there's some new stuff going around here.
As I descended back into the cellar, the lack of mechanical noise quickly revealed that the barrel lift was no longer working.
We have fireworks here now.
I took one of the fireworks. The logo on the side revealed that it was called the Whizzer. I'd known a boy in elementary school with the same nickname. I considered looking through the boxes, but doubted my immediate situation needed a set of matching crockery or monogrammed dish towels. There was nothing large that I needed to move.
Okay, so maybe... Okay. The thing is, I just wanted to give the necklace to the statue in the greenhouse. But yeah, let's double check if we have any new stuff. going on somewhere.
I couldn't do that. Do you mind if I borrow this shovel?
Oh, go right ahead. I already dug up those naughty thorns. It's funny, even when things are dead, they can still cause trouble. Just look at us ghosts.
Okay, so I have a shovel now.
I couldn't see anything I could do with the statue. I had nothing else. I didn't have anything to talk.
Okay. Is there anything going on in the ballroom?
Walking back into the ballroom, the throng of wedding guests had dispersed to their guest rooms, replaced by chairs and tables neatly set out on the dance floor. Preparation.
Oh.
The table was too large for one person to move. Good evening, Mrs. Craddock.
Chairs at the far end, tables on the left. Oh, it's you again.
Where have all the guests gone?
To their rooms to get ready. Here I am tidying up after the waltz while they just waltz away.
How long until the wedding begins?
Just a few hours. Oh, good gracious, a few hours. And there's still so much to do. I'm sorry, but I can't stand around chitter-chatting. There is much work to be done.
You seem a little stressed.
Correct. And with all due respect, and I'm sure we can both agree much respect isn't due at all, talking to you only makes it worse.
You need to find a way to relax, Mrs. Craddock.
I don't think people realize how this job takes a toll on one's health. My doctor told me I need to rethink my diet, so I've decided to go more continental, by which I mean a glass and a half of wine with each meal and polishing off the bottle before bedtime. A la Francais.
That's one way to do it.
Where's the wedding cake gone?
I had to hide it.
Hide it? Why?
Somebody had already helped themselves to a slice of cake. And I bet I know exactly who it was, Mr. McCallan.
Oh, really?
That horrible pock boy. The knave with his hand on the tarts. Perhaps the Queen of Hearts had good reason for her framework of justice.
I'll leave you to get on with your work.
How thankful I am for life's little blessings.
Okay, but there's nothing more to do in here, apparently. Alright, let me try something.
I needed to think of something else.
Okay, no. Just trying to try that really quickly. Not that I have a reason to move the table right now.
Abigail's ghost was once again back in her bedroom, now fully consumed by the wicked spell Rackham had trapped her in. The minutes left before he married her were falling away like dominoes.
I'm just trying to look around if there's anything, like if anything changed basically in the transition to part 3.
The globe looked more decorative. Using the firework to light up the bayou was a great idea. I just needed to launch it from the Bellemore Manor roof, if I could find something to serve as a launch tube.
Oh, the drain.
The firework dropped snugly into the drain pipe. If it needed a launch tube to fire, this was the closest I was going to get. I decided to leave the firework where it was. It was a good launching spot.
Okay. So at least I know where that goes now.
I didn't need to... The trunk was empty.
Okay. Then let's leave the house and look around on the island.
I'd bothered the chicken enough. The wood was old and rotting. It wasn't going to be of any use. And who knew what critters might have made their homes inside the pile?
Okay, so what do I need? I need sugar so that I get the tea. I need a spirit board and a crystal ball somehow.
I tried the door, but it was locked. I couldn't break my way through the door. It was peculiarly reinforced for a lumber mill. The hatches were locked. From their shape, I deduced they were for storing lumber, and I would... The saw blades were rusted, dull, and would surely have precipitated...
Okay. Okay, other than the chicken moving around, I'm not sure if there's anything going on here.
Now that the chicken was enjoying the fresh air, there was nothing of interest in the chicken coop.
Good, then let's check in the Spirit Queen. Oh!
My trek through the bayou was easier on the return. My destination glowed green through the bald cypress trees. And then I saw why. The Spirit Queen was now a smoldering wreck, the embers of the green fire still glowing from within. I wondered if I could reach the telegrams. Well, that answered that. I may have been new to the bayou, but even I knew that plunging my hand into alligator-infested waters wasn't a good idea. The riverboat looked like it might collapse at any moment. There was no way I was going to explore it. I jiggled the handle, but the door was locked. I couldn't do that.
It seems like there's nothing of use there.
The tide was still high as I returned to the Causeway Beach, while the sands were now the purlieu of a rather strange gentleman jabbing at the rocks with a walking stick.
Careful where you step. Look, another one.
Another what?
A pebble. Don't step on them.
There are pebbles all over this beach. There's not many places I could stand that don't have them.
But they could be important.
My name's Murphy McCallan. Nice to meet you.
Oh, yes. Hello. Pleased to meet you. I'm Muffy Carlyle.
Wait, I think I've heard of you. Doesn't your family run a banking firm in New York?
That's the one. Are you familiar with the Carlisle Provincial Accounts and Joint Stock Corporation?
Actually, the reason I remembered you was because I was amazed the owner had a son named Muffy.
It's a nickname. Nanny gave it to me because my ears were always cold.
What's so important about the pebbles?
It's not the pebbles themselves. It's what's inside them.
What's inside the pebbles?
Dinosaurs.
I'm sorry. I think I'm missing something here. You think there are dinosaurs living inside the rocks?
Not living. They're extinct. So I've been told. But skulls, bones, fossils.
Oh, you're a fossil hunter?
That's right. But this beach seems terrible for them.
Why is this beach terrible for fossil hunting?
Too many people wandering across here. The place has been picked dry. I need somewhere secluded. A beach no one ever goes to. Are you from around here? Do you know anywhere like that?
I'm afraid I don't.
Well, do let me know if you find anywhere. I'd pay a pretty penny to go somewhere with potential.
Have you found many fossils before?
Only one. It was in our flower garden. At the summer house, actually.
Fascinating. Where did you find it?
In a plant pot.
A plant pot? Shouldn't it have been in the ground?
Yes. Nanny told me she planted it there for me to find. Couldn't stand the look of disappointment on my face.
Oh, this was when you were a child.
No, last week.
Oh boy.
Have you been out here long?
Just a couple of hours. Rufus dropped me off just after supper.
Dropped you off, but the causeway is flooded over.
I didn't come via the causeway. I got here on the yacht.
You have a boat?
The Plucky Plesiosaur. I named it myself.
Do you work for your father's company too?
That's right. I'm Executive Director of New Initiatives.
And what exactly does that entail?
Oh, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But Papa does say it requires me to be out of the office as much as humanly possible. Muffy, he tells me, if I have to see your face around here, I'll end up moving to Tibet and joining a monastery. So even if I'm not sure exactly what my job is, clearly it is very important.
Oh, you poor soul.
Well, good luck with your search.
I'll never give up. That's the dinosaur way.
I picked up the vacuum flask from the portable table. I glanced at the book's cover and was more than surprised to read the title, Dunstan the Dinosaur, above a drawing of a bulbous yellow triceratops walking on two legs and wearing a bowler hat.
Oh, you poor soul. Alright, but other than that, nothing new. Alright, then let's try the Fort de la Mort. Okay, still nothing it seems.
I jiggled the gate. The fort lock was held in a sturdy iron casing. Hitting it with the shovel wouldn't have broken through it. The lock was much too sturdy to get through with pliers. That wasn't going to work.
Okay, so nothing we can do right here. Then of course
Returning to
it's the
St.
church.
Juniper's Church, it was clear by the illuminated windows and the repetitive hum of a newly placed generator that the rum runners had made themselves at home. I didn't need the fuse. I couldn't do anything with it. Without a second fuse installed, the dial refused to turn. The sticker read, "Property of the Dead Nettle Police Department, not to be removed."
Oh well.
Musket! Did you hear that?
Will you stop twitching, Morris? You're making me nervous.
Sorry, boss. I just don't know if we should be doing this.
Doing what?
Using a church for Morally dubious activities. Theology lays out pathways and guidelines to keep us on the moral road to righteousness.
Did one of those barrels hit you on the head, Morris? Quit your belly aching. What's the worst that could happen?
I'm getting the spooks, boss. This church has a lot of dead people. What if they don't like us being in here?
Is that what you're worried about? Ghosts ain't real. Now hush up about it.
I don't know, boss. The scientific consensus on paranormal activity still seems to be inconclusive. I read a book about it last week, and it's really giving me the heebie-jeebies.
What have I told you about reading? It's no good for you. It gives you delusions of grandeur and indigestion.
Sorry, boss.
Just for the sake of argument, this book you was reading. What did it say about ghosts?
It said that there are 3 signs for detecting paranormal activity.
What's the first sign?
First, the temperature drops as the ghost's presence descends upon the locality.
Well then, until we start getting the chills, there ain't nothing to worry about.
Okay. So I have to make them chilly, huh?
It wouldn't have been wise to reveal myself to the rum runners by
Okay, probably put some ice on the plate.
Now wasn't the time for a sit-down. I couldn't see anything to do with the statue.
Okay, of course there's a lot I can interact with here, but the rum runners are in the way. Oh.
The stitching was too tight to undo with my hands. Pressing into it, I could feel the seat's springs right below the worn material.
Well then, let's cut it open.
Deciding the jalopy was so beat up that a little more damage wouldn't be noticed, I cut open the stitch. I pulled the spring from the ripped seat cushion. I didn't need to drive the car.
Okay, well I thought they came running, hearing that, but I guess not.
Now that I'd looked upon the lifeless face of Comptroller Grimes, it didn't feel appropriate to give his coffin a wiggle. I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for. Good evening, Edgar.
Ah, blast it. Not again. I go all night as the only one in this cemetery with a pulse. Then here you are bringing me 2 steps closer to losing it. What do you want now?
Just taking a look around. It's peaceful here.
It was.
What are you digging?
I thought the cemetery could do with a swimming pool. Put out some deck chairs, maybe a tiki bar.
Okay,
You
that is
think
a
I'm
dumb question.
digging? Another grave.
Who's this one for?
Reginald Goff. He was the state executioner in the next parish over.
How did he die?
His last convict was a bit nervous about being executed by the electric chair. When Goff asked him if he had any final requests, the convict asked if he could hold his hand for support.
Shocking.
Oh lord.
Then I've got Marigold McGee to deal with before I can clock off. That'll be a headache.
What's so difficult about Marigold McGee?
She asked for her remains to be scattered across the island.
That doesn't seem so bad.
The problem is she didn't want to be cremated.
The ghost stories are real.
Well, I don't want to hear them. I don't like to think about ghosts.
Why not?
Because they'd be bad for business. I have my work cut out here with the dead as it is. Imagine if they came back asking for a refund.
Has the cemetery been here long?
This cemetery is the whole reason Devil's Rock is populated. Back when the mainland was first settled, they used to ship off the bodies of undesirables to be buried here. The criminals and paupers. St. Juniper's Church up on the hill was one of the first structures here, along with the fort. So that's what this place became. A cemetery island. A place where only Beelzebub himself would take the bodies that were interred in its soil. The Devil's Rock.
Creepy.
But cool origin of the story for the name of the island.
I think the rum runners are using the church as a hideout.
What do you want me to do about it? My job description says I deal with the outside. It's the vicar's responsibility to take care of the inside. I'm just contracted for the grounds and the graves.
Right, the vicar's still looking for his Bible.
Do you know what happened to the vicar of St. Juniper's Church?
Foskett was his name. Disappeared along with everyone else at the manor during the Bellemore wedding.
Did you get along with him?
No! Miserable guy he was. Fortunately, we came to an understanding.
An understanding?
Let's just say that one night, I might have witnessed a certain clergyman through the vestry window. Off his head on communion wine, wearing a crinoline over his cassock, singing, "We three kings of Jackson Square, selling stockings a nickel a pair." He couldn't look me in the eye after that. The only way we communicated was through notes on the parish bulletin board. And that's the way I liked it.
Okay, interesting.
There's a dead body over at Bellemore Manor hanging from a tree.
So, what do you want me to do about it?
Shouldn't you bury it?
If it manages to wander its way over here, I'll bury it. Until then, I'm not stepping foot onto the Bellemore estate. I've heard the stories about the Phantom, and I'm not risking my shut-eye to rescue a cadaver from a tree like some stuck kitten.
Do you know who the hanged man is?
Beats me. But from what I've heard, it's been there ever since that wedding night.
I best be running along.
Goodbye.
I couldn't see any way to open the crypt door. Not a doorknob, not a keyhole. Whoever sealed this up intended to seal it up for good. Would you like some help digging?
I don't need your help, Sonny. I'll have you know I've got the body of a lumberjack.
You do?
Yeah, it's one of the ones I need to bury tomorrow.
I looked to the bottom of the grave, but could only see dirt and darkness. I couldn't risk going up to the window while the rum runners were around.
Okay. So I don't know of anything else I can do here. Means I've been everywhere. Let's go back to Dead Nettle.
Life continued on in Dead Nettle, its citizens oblivious to the supernatural struggle happening on the far side of the island. Even with their predilection for local legend, I doubted they'd believe me if I told them.
Welcome back.
Good evening, Mr. Crumb.
How can I help you?
How come you're working so late?
Well, the wife's gone to visit her cousin Winnie for a few days. And if I stayed in my bedroom, I'd just start going loopy.
I'm looking for 3 keys.
No, unless they're the gem-encrusted keys to a lady's heart, I don't think I can help you. I'm a jeweler, not a locksmith.
Have you heard of something called the Coffin Stone? Jasper's eyes grew to double their size with a look of both excitement and fear.
How do you know about that?
I'm starting to think it's real.
I thought you didn't believe my tale about the ghost ship.
I do now.
Then I'm happy to tell you everything I know. Now, don't be telling anyone this, but I've read the captain's log, and the coffin stone was what murdered my great-great-grandfather's crew. Try telling people that a little bit of rock could allow a single pirate to overrun a galleon, and you're laughed at. But that's exactly what he says happened. 86 crew members, all killed by a magic stone. Their souls dragged from their bodies.
Who was wielding the stone?
A pirate called Captain Skelet. Truth be told, he wasn't much of a pirate for the first years of his career on the high seas, but almost overnight, he became the most feared gentleman ever to fly the black flag.
What happened to him?
Nobody knows.
And the stone?
Nobody knows that either. But if you hear anything, do tell me.
Are these fossils for sale?
Goodness me, you're the second person today to ask me about them.
Let me guess. The first one was a gentleman called Muffy?
I didn't catch his name, but he pressed his face up against the cabinet so hard he left nose prints on the glass. Wouldn't stop asking questions about where I found them. Seemed to think they were from here on the island. Didn't have the heart to tell him I brought them all back from a vacation in Grimstone, Arizona. Total time waster. Who was he anyway? Friend of yours?
Not exactly. His name is Muffy Carlyle.
Of the Carlisle Provincial Accounts and Joint Stock Corporation?
That's him.
You mean to tell me one of the richest men in the country was in my store? My store. Selling the finest watches, necklaces, jewelry, and rings? And all he wanted to talk about was rocks and bones? Excuse me. I feel a little faint.
Do you think I could buy a fossil?
You certainly can, if you can afford it.
Could I take it on account?
On account of what?
On account of me having no money. I think I'll just look around for now.
I'm
Nice
here
try.
if you need me.
There is no way I could carry a fishbowl full of water and a live goldfish around with me. If I wanted it, the goldfish was going to need a new home first. The neck of the bottle was far too narrow for the pudgy little goldfish to swim through. Nope.
Okay, I was thinking the goldfish bowl as a substitute for the crystal ball. Okay, but the puppet theater looks open now.
The puppet show hadn't started yet. The puppet show... Hello, my name's Murphy McCallan.
Hello, chum. Looking to hire a ferry?
Maybe?
Then come set sail with Crab Macready, when a ferry's really what you needy.
Crab's breath hit my face like a custard pie, a cloud of air reeking of cigarettes and stale beer.
Look, here's a promotional flag, so you can keep me in mind.
I'll treasure it.
Now, I can take you anywhere on the coast. Where are you looking to head to? Do you have a partner or an illicit liaison in mind? I do a very romantic sunset cruise.
Is this your ferry? It looks like it's held together with spit and glue.
That's right, but rest assured, my spit is remarkably viscous. You find yourself aboard the Creaky Crab 2. I am her captain, Crab Macready. I get most of my business ferrying over to the mainland when the tide's covered up the causeway.
Are you a member of the Captain's Club?
Oh, they banned me, those pompous buffoons. That Felix is full of himself.
What happened?
There used to be a club parrot called Squawkin' Hawkins, until he was taken away. Bird-napped, I'd say. See, I'm a big bird lover. They're very intelligent creatures, and I used to try to teach him poetry. Well, Felix Greer wasn't having none of that. I think he was getting jealous that the bird had more brains than him. He kicked me out. Well, I got a little upset, like anybody would. Words were exchanged, loudly, and he told me I wasn't welcome back. The cheek of it. Kicking me out when I'm a hard-working captain. That landlubber would get seasick using a washcloth.
Why do you like birds so much?
They're the sailors of the sky, even the ones that can't fly. You tell me, have you ever looked an emu in the eye and not felt a sense of kinship? Seen that look that says he wants to explore beyond the horizon.
I've never imagined an emu thinking anything different to that.
I love anything with a beak, except platypuses. Don't get me started on them. Now, I take it upon myself to look after the feathered friends on this island. Squawkin' Hawkins now lives on a perch on my balcony. I have a name for every seagull that flies over Dead Nettle. And I look after Doris.
Doris?
Doris the chicken, over at Baxter's Mill.
Yo, I know Doris.
What happened to the Creaky Crab 1?
That's it over there, with its bow peeking out of the water. I was out in the bay last Mardi Gras and looked down into the inky depths. Honest to God, I saw a mermaid staring back at me. I rushed back into Dead Nettle with such fervour I forgot to slow the engine once we reached the docks.
Was it really a mermaid you saw?
Nah, turned out I'd forgot to take my wig off from the costume contest that night, and I'd just seen my own reflection.
Okay.
I'd like to hire your ferry.
Sure, give me a map of where you want to go and I'll see if I can get you there. I'm the best ferryman this side of the Gulf. From Baton Rouge to the Bermuda Rectangle, I'm your man.
I thought it was called the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, sure it is now, ever since one of its sides mysteriously disappeared.
I'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
It was the cotton flag that Crab, the ferryman, had given me, embroidered with his company logo.
Oh, look who's returned.
Good evening, Felix.
Remind me, did you say your name was Captain Knott?
My pseudonym, that's right, for marketing purposes.
Because I've been doing some research in the club archives, and it seems as though we already had a Captain Knott as a member about 10 years ago.
That would be my father, Captain Knott Sr. I'll pass on a hello next time I see him.
42 years as a captain, sailed each of the 7 seas.
That's the one. More at home on the waves.
It says in the records that he's deceased.
Might be harder than expected to pass on that hello, actually.
Drowned, apparently.
A mighty struggle.
While taking a bath.
Mainly a struggle with the plug, really.
Look, I'm on to you, Sonny. When Mr. Perkins gets back tomorrow, we'll be having an investigation. Captain Knott, or not a captain.
And until then?
Enjoy the club.
Love it.
I waited for the doors of the elevator to open, but nothing happened.
If you wish to use the elevator, I'm afraid to tell you it's broken. You'll have to endure the stairs.
Fair enough.
Foolishness is going
mateys.
somewhat okay.
Shiver me timbers. 'Tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance, me hearties. Yo-ho!
What on earth are you talking about?
I think your lighthouse might have lured in a loon.
I thought you were captains. Isn't this how captains talk?
Not outside a Treasure Island novel. Do you expect us to carry parrots on our shoulders, too?
I tried that once in my life, and all I got was excrement down the back of my blazer.
Oh, right.
Yeah, welcome, Gillif. It's going pretty well. We've made it into part 3.
Good evening.
It's about time you got here. I've been waiting for you.
You have?
Darn right. Give me another sarsaparilla and be quick about it.
No, I'm not a waiter.
You're a captain? They keep getting younger and younger. Do they give you a free pair of floaties with your license nowadays?
Are you a captain?
I was, a long time ago. Captain Cuthbert Moot's the name. Now I'm the island's lighthouse keeper.
Oh, nice. Assuming I'm still alive? Technically, yes. No, we made it. It was pretty tough work, actually, to get all the items to break the spell on Abigail. But we managed to do that. Are able to, well, leave the house, the manor, obviously. And now what we have to do is get 3 items. A used teacup, a crystal ball, and a spirit board to conduct seances for each of her brothers. So we can ask them how and where they died. Because we need 3 keys, one for each brother. And presumably they either had them on them when they died, or at least they know where they are, where they hid them. We need the keys to open the way to the secret vault that keeps the treasure of Bellemore Manor, which is of course not $13 million, which is a magic stone that sucks the life out of people and prolongs the user's life in return. And it was home, so likely drop in another 3. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not even sure how much longer I will stream. I actually want to stop at 4 hours, but at least I think I'll talk to these 2 gentlemen before I stop.
How come you're not captaining anymore?
I had a bit of a bump with a lighthouse.
Only lighthouses had some way of warning you they were there. The lighthouse keeper's nostrils huffed like a bull about to charge at a matador.
After I crashed the ship, I lost my job with the Bellemore Trading Company. What's more, I was taken off the Bellemore wedding guest list. Life's been one disappointment after another ever since. I used to be a king of the waves. Now I'm a bigger wreck than my ship.
But at least you're still alive.
How did you not see the lighthouse?
I was busy at the time. What are you, the captaincy board?
But you managed to keep your captain's license?
In a manner of speaking, the captaincy board has a sense of irony. After I crashed into the lighthouse, they made me take the job of lighthouse keeper to maintain my credentials.
Then shouldn't you be at the fort if you're the lighthouse keeper?
Yeah, it's a dreary place, and there's a damn fleabag cat there that won't leave me alone. Anyway, it's a clear night. If the fog comes in, I'll switch the light on. Otherwise, I'm staying right here.
So I have to change the weather again. I have to make it foggy.
What's wrong with the cat?
Blacktail, you see these scratch marks on my nose? The damn thing jumps for my head every time the badge on my hat catches the light.
You worked for the Bellemore Trading Company?
Once upon a time, I was the captain of the SS Mysterium, flagship of the Bellemore Trading Company fleet. I've captained more ocean voyages than you've taken baths. I might look like I should be hawking fish sticks at a market stall, but back then, I was at the top of my game, enjoying the finer things in life. Caviar in the finest restaurants, champagne at the finest resorts, dressing in the finest tuxedos. Oh, one little bump through my whole career down the plug hole.
I take it the Captain's Club doesn't compare.
It did once upon a time. This place used to be a model of a club. Now the only thing it'd be modeling would be a cardigan and a girdle.
So you weren't invited to the Bellemore wedding?
No, I was snubbed. Years of captaining their flagship, and then I get forgotten like a dirty sock. I tried to convince Mrs. Craddock to add me to the list, but she's got a heart colder than a penguin's behind.
I was invited to the Bellemore wedding.
What? You never told me that.
You never asked. Yeah, not a direct invitation from the Bellemores, but I was invited as a +1.
Who invited you?
A little lady named Tallulah LaRue.
Oh,
Why
no.
didn't you go?
Because she scared the hell out of me.
Good call.
Isn't it lucky that you didn't go to the Bellemore wedding?
Lucky? How by Neptune's beard could you call that lucky?
Because the whole wedding disappeared. Their lives were stolen from them, their souls trapped in a tormented house for eternity. If you'd have been there, you'd have disappeared too.
Oh, it just would have been nice to feel included, that's all.
Is there a way into the fort?
Not without the key, and I'm the one in charge of that. Do you know the reason for the big walls, the sturdy gates, the barrels of gunpowder, and the big boomy cannons? To keep people out!
Can you turn on the lighthouse beacon?
I don't know if you know how lighthouses work, but they only need to be lit up when visibility is low. As far as I can tell, it's a clear night, so until I see fog pouring through that window, I'm not doing a thing.
Yeah, also the sentiment to want to be included is very relatable.
I better
right?
be off.
So long.
That trophy belongs to the club champion, and as I'm club champion, I'm telling you, hands off.
The billiard table was already occupied. The switch seemed to control the ceiling fans.
Okay.
Good evening. My name's Murphy McCallan.
Good evening, Captain McCallan. Captain Gifford Pemberley at your service. That's right, I expect you've heard of me. Master of the Mississippi, tamer of the Tennessee, cuddler of the Colorado. Care to hit the table with me?
Are you a famous riverboat captain?
You haven't heard of me?
I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of experience with riverboats.
Don't tell me you're one of those jelly-legged sea captains.
Jelly-legged? At least we sea captains do proper sailing, with charts, by the stars, across vast seas and oceans, hundreds of miles from land. You riverboat captains only have two directions, upriver or downriver.
Don't listen to him. He doesn't understand the perils of the riverways. I got my start in Baton Rouge. All I needed to do was teach the Mississippi that I was its master. If it wasn't going to do as it was told, it would get a damn good spanking until it fell in line.
Have you been a member of the Captain's Club long?
I'd say so. I got my license when I was 25. When my uncle Augustus passed away, I sold his gumbo restaurant and purchased a diamond of a riverboat. I ran pleasure cruises up the waterways of Devil's Rock for years.
Are you still a captain?
Technically, but it's hard to put into practice when you no longer have a boat.
What happened?
I got a little overconfident drinking whiskey and gambled my riverboat away years ago. My wife left me because she said I had a gambling addiction, but I still think I can win her back.
The wife of the boat.
Were you the former captain of the Spirit Queen?
That's the one, dear boy.
So you must be interested in ghosts.
I beg your pardon?
Having named your riverboat the Spirit Queen.
It's not named after ghosts, boy. It's named after bourbon, gin, tequila, whiskey. Those are the spirits that haunt me.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but the Spirit Queen burned down.
Oh, what a sad day. I knew it would happen sooner or later. It was that damn fool Moray, wasn't it? He never loved her the way I did. She was one in a million. A personality as fierce as the Mississippi. A sway when she moved that could hypnotize any man. And curves in all the right places.
Are we still talking about a boat?
Yes.
Are you going to patch things up with Mrs. Pemberley?
Oh, I'm trying. I had a bouquet of flowers delivered to her this morning.
Is there a florist in Dead Nettle?
No, I just took them out of that window box over by Moot. Don't tell Felix, or they'll end up on my tab.
That's a very nice trophy in the corner.
Well, it didn't start out as a trophy. We needed something spherical, so we just gilded a cannonball from over at Fort Bellemore. Polished up like a trombone in a marching band. A lot of elbow grease went into that shine, and currently these wrists have enough lubrication for a 12-lane bowling alley.
Are you saying that's your trophy?
That's right, boy. Champion billiards player of the Captain's Club. Keeps the other captains on their toes. Or peg leg in the case of Wooden Willie.
Surely he can't like being called that.
Too true. I think his peg leg is actually ceramic, but then the alliteration doesn't work.
I'll join you in a game. What are we playing?
Billiards.
Should I set her up?
It is set up. This isn't American billiards, boy. We're playing English billiards. A fine game which requires only 3 balls. A white for me, a yellow for you, and a red we share.
I haven't heard of English billiards before.
I learned it when I toured the gambling halls of London back in 1922. It's a game with far more depth and skill than pool or snooker. Points are awarded not just for potting, but by the flair with which strikes are accomplished. More points can be earned with a fanciful shot than by a simple pocketing.
So I'm not trying to get the balls in the little holes?
Look, I think we might be a bit out of your depth with this. Why don't we keep it simple? The winner is the one who can bounce the red ball off the cushions the most times.
I can do that.
Then let's play. I'm afraid it'll have to be with dry cues. For some reason, the billiard chalk's gone missing.
I wonder how that happened.
Sevens! Something to be proud of. threes. Too bad, Captain McCallum. It seems my standing as champion of the Captain's Club continues.
Okay, so how do I change that?
Nope. I didn't need to blow on that. Empty of flowers, I could see that the window box was securely attached to the club's masonry.
Okay. So I need to have fog, quote-unquote fog, to go in that window to convince the lighthouse keeper to turn the lighthouse on so I can get into the fort. Wonder how I'll do that. But I'll think about that next time and end it here for now. Okay. Let's get the bucket of fog to spill. Let's just get that. Okay. Not entirely sure. How do I save it? Oh, okay. That's how. Right. Well, we didn't finish. The game is actually longer than I thought. But I hope that one more stream will do it. But we'll see. Maybe we have another part 4. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it might be for you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you again soon.